Today, we're very privileged to have the AARP telling them about the programs. Gary Simon, you, the time is yours.
Thank you,
Please
Senator.
proceed.
Thank you, Senator Moraki and Representative Chan, for inviting us here today. I'm Gary Simon, the outgoing president for AARP Hawaii. I'm actually co-pilot to Jackie Bolin, our Director of Community Outreach. Please, Jackie, launch the PowerPoint presentation.
Is that working, Gary?
That's it. Okay, we want to do a deep dive on AARP and reinforce some things that you might already know, but also shed some light on things that you might not know. AARP in action. Next slide, Jackie. Who we are. We have 140,000 members in Hawaii, and our four principal initiatives here in the state are advocacy, information and education, resources, community service, engagement, activities, initiatives, projects in the community, and member services. This is our current CEO, Dr. Maisha Minter-Jordan. She's been with us since 2024. She had succeeded Joanne Jenkins. Dr. Maisha is a physician by training from Massachusetts. And there is our motto. And again, broadly speaking, but forcefully speaking, what we do for one, we do for all. Next slide. Many of you have partnered and worked with our AARP staff. Kaylee Lopez is our state director. There's Jackie again, our director of community outreach. Craigima is our director of communications. Our heavy lifter during the legislative session is Audrey Suga Nakagawa, our advocacy director. And everyone's boss is Shar Saunders, and our office manager that is the glue for all of us. We can make this public. I'm outgoing as of today, and I've gone out as of today. Our incoming president, which we can public announce again today, is Grant Chun. Grant Chun retired in 2024 as executive director for Hale Mahaolu. By trade, he is an attorney. He was a partner with Carl Smith Ball. He was managing director for the county of Maui, and he was vice president of A&B Properties on Maui. So he is my successor. And I've been granted compassionate release, so I'm going back down to the executive council. And my other cohorts on the executive council, led by Grant, are Don Yabusaki. He comes out of the Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs. Bev Gotelli is a retired educator, lives on Kauai. Barbara Krieg is an attorney here on Oahu, and Warren Wong is a retired geriatrician from the Kaiser Permanente. Next slide. And should I take it
over here? Gary?
Okay, thank you, Jackie.
Thanks. So aloha, everyone. It's great to be here today. I've been working for AARP for almost 30 years, so I'm still pretty excited about it. We were founded by a really, truly remarkable woman named Dr. Ethel Percy Andrus, who was a retired school principal. And the lore goes that Dr. Andrus actually stepped down from her role as school principal to become a caregiver for her mother. And when her mother started to recover, she became a volunteer for the California Retired Teachers Association. In her work with the California Retired Teachers Association, she one day came across what was really a catalyst for her future work, in that she was looking up as a school teacher that had previously worked for her. And when she went to the address that she had, what she found was that this teacher was actually living in a chicken coop behind the house where that address took place because she had a terrible health condition and no money to pay for housing and health care. And this was at a time when there was no Social Security, there was no Medicare, and a retired school principal's salary was about $61 a month. So it was really hard for older adults at the time, particularly because at the time there was no ability for older people to purchase health insurance. So Dr. Anders, what she did is she got all the teachers associations across the country together. They formed the National Retired Teachers Association, and they started lobbying for insurance companies that would be willing to sell something to teachers. After about a decade, they finally succeeded in that. And then what happened is that all the people that weren't teachers found out about it and they wanted to join too. And so at the age of 73, Dr. Anders founded AARP, and she was always a volunteer for AARP. She was never a paid staff member, but the model that she set was both unique and successful, and it still works today. So she basically went across the country telling other retirees about what was going on. And from that was formed the organization that we work for today. Let me see if I can. So how we're organized is a little bit different than many organizations. We actually have three unique business entities. So AERP, the nonprofit that Gary and Grant volunteer for and that I work for, is a 501c4. And what that does is it allows us to advocate at the legislature. We also have a charitable foundation, a 501c3, that cannot advocate at the legislature, and they put their resources into helping low-income people. And then we have AARP Services Incorporated, which is a for-profit subsidiary that's owned by AARP, the nonprofit, and it basically funds the work we do through royalties that are paid on our member services. So again, three business entities. AARP, the 501c4, is the primary organization, but we have a foundation and we have a for-profit subsidiary that helps us pay our bills. So we work on so many issues that it would be impossible for me to talk about them all today. So I've highlighted the ones I'm going to mention, but I will take questions about anything, and hopefully we'll be able to answer them all. So first of all, caregiving. I think everybody in this room knows that Hawaii has a lot of people caring for family members. So 260,000 unpaid caregivers in Hawaii, contributing about $2.6 billion worth of unpaid care a year. And what we understand is that about 61% of them are still working, and that they're averaging about 26% of their own incomes in providing care to older loved ones. This is a little troubling to AERP because caregivers often stop working or take their hours down, pass up promotions in order to give care to loved ones. And what we don't want to see is we don't want to see those caregivers becoming impoverished because they've taken the step to care for their loved one. And we also like to just mention, which again, I know you know, is that these caregivers are the backbone of Hawaii's long-term care system. And without them, Hawaii's system would not work. So I'm pretty sure that everyone in this room knows someone who is caring for someone else. But if you don't, put it in the chat because I'd love to know who you are. Just kidding. But as Rosalind Carter said, there's really four types of people. There's those people who are caregivers, those who are going to be caregivers, and those who are going to need caregivers. I guess that's only three. But so we work on caregiving. It's our number one priority and has been since this state office opened in 2000. This year, we are supporting the caregiver tax credit. We also do workshops and seminars, and we're going to try something new this year, which we're calling, for lack of a better word, caregiver pit stop type events, which will be sort of fun giving events where we literally just invite caregivers to come to something that's exciting or free. And when they come, we give them that thing plus some caregiver resources. So you could think about it in terms of car washes for caregiver. We're going to give caregivers a free car wash. When they come, we're going to give them a packet with resource information, and then they'll go on their merry way. So we've never done this before, but we're going to experiment with it so that we can take things a little bit more to scale. We also do tons of media relations to try to help the public understand the value of caregivers and the resources that are out there for them. Another priority that we work on is brain health. Brain health is actually, for the whole time I've worked at AARP, it has been the #1 issue of interest to people 50 and older. By the way, I don't know if Gary mentioned it, but our membership starts at 50. So we're very positioned to help people who are in that midlife period of their lives, where maybe they're planning for their retirement, maybe they're planning for their own future caregiving, or they're caring for their parents. So we have kind of a dual audiences. But AARP supports education around these 6 pillars of brain health. And we also drill down into some of them in different ways. We are basically the founders of the Global Council on Brain Health, which is an international group that tries to come to consensus around things that we know are true, that they know are true, that can be parsed into really easy, consumer-friendly information. And that's where those 6 pillars came. But as part of our work, we have a free website called Staying Sharp, where people can get a free cognitive assessment and participate in challenges that can help them improve within the 6 pillars of brain health. And then locally, last year, we did support legislation that would support the early assessment of dementia. We do lots and lots of seminars and fun events related to brain health. And we also have a speakers bureau that goes out and talks to groups about brain health. We're very invested in it. And just to show you a couple things that we're doing coming up, we're having a pickleball mix and mingle social that has a brain health sort of framing of it. And then we have this ongoing monthly webinar series with Coach Carl Powell on Maui that does gentle movements and drills down into each of the 6 pillars on a rotating basis. And then we're doing this new event that we're testing out in March. That's for women who are in their 40s to 60. That's really about menopause and perimenopause, but it includes the participation of a medical doctor, a psychiatrist, and a physical therapist. And we'll be talking about some of the things that sort of indirectly connect around brain health. Financial resilience is a big topic for us. It includes strengthening and protecting Social Security for future generations, our support of Hawaii's retirement security program, fighting fraud, tax aid, and we also do retirement planning workshops that are really intended to help people understand Social Security and Medicare and the steps they need to do to plan for a successful retirement. So fraud prevention is really big for us this year because of our legislative bills, but I think you probably understand that fraudulent criminals are stealing billions of dollars every year from the public. And we want people to spot those frauds before they fall for them, because once they fall for them, it's very hard for them to get their money back. And what we've seen since COVID is that the amount of fraud has really almost tripled. So we're supporting the crypto ATM legislation. I understand that HB 1972 is no longer moving forward, but SB 2863 is, which would limit the amount that seniors can use, or anybody could put into one of these cryptocurrency machines on a daily basis. Now, you might wonder why if you're not familiar with the legislation, but cryptocurrency is the fastest growing form of payment for scam artists. So the first one is bank transfers. The second one now is cryptocurrency. And the thing is, it used to be gift cards, and gift cards are still a big deal, but it's hard for somebody to go out and buy $2,000 worth of gift cards, but it's not so hard for somebody to spend $2,000 on a crypto machine. In fact, our research shows us that people averaged about $83,000 in losses last year, the folks who fell for these scams in Hawaii. So that's a lot of money that they'll never get back. We do lots of events to educate people on how to spot and avoid fraud. And so I just want to let you know that we're doing these events, 4 events. Oh, I have the wrong dates, but pretend that January says March. All of these, I'm sorry, back up. Pretend that January says February. I apologize. So February 23rd will be at the JCCH. February 24th will be on Maui. 25th in Kona. 26th in Hilo. And we will be going to Kauai, but with a different event. We're also doing some free shredding events coming up in April right after taxes. And this is just a chance for people to shred those documents that might have their confidential information on them. And we do that in combination with a food drive to benefit the Hawaii Food Bank. We've been doing it since 2005, so it's a pretty established event for us. Also, AERP has a free helpline for people who have been victimized by fraud or think they may have been victimized by fraud, and for their family members. And it's open until about 2 o'clock Hawaii time every day. It's staffed by trained volunteers. So if you've been defrauded and you don't really know where to go, it's a great idea to call that number and talk it through with someone, and they can tell you where to report, whether it really is a scam, and what your next step should be. Social Security, our biggest commitment at the moment is protecting Social Security. And so we believe that all of us have paid into it, and it's only fair that we should get the money that we deserve. And so what we just want to alert people to, first of all, is that Social Security has never, ever created any deficit for the United States. It's in fact had a surplus for many, many years. But because Social Security is based on demographics and people are having fewer children and others are living longer, there are some tweaks that need to be made to this program, because if it doesn't get tweaked, then in 8 years from now, people in Hawaii and across the country will be having about a 20% cut to their Social Security benefits. And that's for both current beneficiaries and future beneficiaries. So on average, that would equal out to about $4,000 a year per person in Hawaii. So there's just a few things that we can do around that. One, we have to advocate for members of Congress to shore up Social Security's long-term care finances. And then we need to help the public understand the program's role in their secure retirement. I'm a Gen Xer, and you'll often hear people in my age group saying that we don't expect Social Security to be there for us, because we were told that in our weekly readers in the 6th grade, right? Social Security will never be there when you graduate. But the fact is that even though maybe we thought that, most of us haven't done a very good job in saving for retirement. So if Social Security truly was not to be there, then we would have a lot of people impoverished and living on the streets. So we want to just let people know how important Social Security is to their retirement. In Hawaii, I believe it makes up about 26% for most, or I'm sorry, in Hawaii, about 26% of the people are 100% reliant on Social Security, and about half of the people are 50% reliant on Social Security in their retirement. So Congress needs to come up with a bipartisan solution to that budget shortfall. And there's a couple ways to do it. You can either reduce the benefits, or you can basically raise the rate at which people get to receive it, which is, I guess, also reduced benefit, or you can increase taxes on either the people getting it or the rich, as people really like that one. But one solution won't really get you the whole way. The other thing we do is we have a tax aid program that provides free tax assistance. This is run through our foundation in partnership with the IRS, and they provide free tax preparation for people who don't own a lot of property, don't own any rentals. It was really designed to help low-income older adults and veterans get their earned income tax credits, but it is actually open to everybody. Livable communities is another issue area that we work on. It's a very complex area, encompasses many, many things, but the ones that we tend to focus on in Hawaii are affordable and appropriate housing, transportation options, in particular, multimodal transportation options. Although we do have a driver safety program, but we're often looking at pedestrian safety and access to public transportation as our focus in that area. Closing that digital divide and helping people to understand technology, and then disaster preparedness. But livable communities encompasses much more than that for us, including the Age-Friendly Cities program, which Honolulu is a part of, that's basically organized through the World Health Organizations. We have community challenge grants, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more. And we also offer technical assistance. So the community challenge grant process is open right now, January 7th through March 4th. And what this is basically some quick action projects that people can do to improve the community. Nonprofit organizations and government organizations can apply for funds. They get them in about July, and they have until the end of December to finish their project. The grants are not huge grants. The smallest grant could be $500 to put in a park bench, but you could get as much as $15,000 under our flagship grant area, which addresses projects that take place in public places or transportation, housing, digital, or disaster. Funnily enough, the same things that our state office has been focusing on. We also have these little micro grants where AERP has some resources that people could use for bike audits and walk audits and that sort of thing. And they can get a $2,500 mini grant to help support an effort in that direction. And then we do have some outside funding through Toyota and Microsoft that helps us do some larger grants of up to $25,000, particularly around support for things like pedestrian safety, high-speed internet, and housing design competitions. A couple years ago, I believe we gave a grant to an organization on Kauai for an ADU housing design competition that they ran, just as an example. And other grants that I might mention, we did fund a Starlink up on the North Shore for the Hauula Community Resilience Hub. And we also gave them money to build that walking path around their little community lot that they have. We've given money to Maui Grow Some Good, Grow Some Good, to build a food forest, plant some trees, fruit-bearing trees that they then harvest and give to low-income Hawaiian families. Lots and lots of different projects through the Community Challenge grant process. So if you know of a nonprofit who wants to do a project, please encourage them to submit an application. So how do we get everything done? We do it, we only have 5 paid staff people, but we do have a couple of hundred volunteers. So these are the types of things we focus our volunteer efforts on. We really want to just tell people stories so that the media, policymakers really understand how the issues translate into the human lives. Through educational workshops, seminars, speakers bureau, resource table. And then we do lots of kind of fun with purpose type events and community service projects. I was really proud just this January to be part of the Wall That Heals, which was a 3/4 replica of the Vietnam Memorial that came to Oahu and was down at the UH West Oahu campus. And we had our whole, almost all of the Thursday slots were staffed by AERP volunteers, and we had volunteers staffing other slots too, but it was just such a wonderful project for us to be a part of. But that we don't always do ones that are that serious. We show a lot of free movies, just things to help people socially connect and really involve themselves in the community. And I will just close by saying, first of all, I'll take any questions you have. I know I've been speaking fast, but if you would like to partner with AERP, please feel free to contact me. And normally I would say if you want to sign up for any of our events, you could go to aerp.org/local. but we're just revamping our site right now. So if you need a link to any of the events I've mentioned, I'm happy to send it to you if you email me at my AARP email. So with that, I hope I fit into the time frame, Gary, and I'm done.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. Gary, you have anything more to add?
Yeah, I did want to reinforce that, for the community challenge grants, we are doubling the money available nationally. So we're increasing the amount we're doubling it to $8 million. So we encourage all of you out there, your community or organizations to apply. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So please do.
Great. Thank you for all the good work AARP is doing on many, many fronts. So thank you. And thank you, Jackie, for sharing all of that with us.
Thank you
And,
for your partnership. We really appreciate it.
and
Yeah,
thank you,
Grant
Gary, for your service.
County is in the Zoom room. Grant, did you want to say anything?
Okay. Thank you, Gary, for your service and for your officers. And Grant, congratulations. And you want to say a few words too?
No, Jackie did a great job orienting everybody as far as our work. And I just want to say I'm looking forward to the next couple of years, learning more and working with you folks and addressing the needs of our older citizens.
Okay. Well, congratulations and welcome. All right. Thank you, AARP. Continue the good work that you guys are doing for us. So thank you. We're going to move on to the Kupuna Caucus legislative proposals, the update, and I see Representative Takayama, who has been a champion, and he has some bills in his committee. So you want to talk a little bit about that, Greg?
Thank you, Senator, and thank you all of you for joining us this afternoon at the Kupuna Caucus. It's been a while, but I really enjoy meeting with you all. So, about a month or so ago, I believe the Kupuna Caucus surveyed its members and came up with 5 top priority measures that we are advocating for this 2026 session. Now, we're only like the 3rd full week into the session, but we're already approaching some key deadlines. And I'm happy to report that at least on the House side, all 5 of the legislative proposals that are identified as priorities for the Kupuna Caucus, they're all alive in the House, which means they're alive in the legislature. Excuse me, in the legislature. So let me describe House Bill 1972, which deals with provides a family caregiver tax credit. This measure passed the Human Services Committee unanimously and moves on to the Economic Development Committee. This is the tax credit for non-paid family caregivers. Next bill, HB 1973, which is the Kupuna Aloha program, providing services, in-home care services for GAP group. They earn too much for Medicaid, not enough, not old enough for Medicare. Provides them with in-home services, and it's a 1-year pilot project that's being proposed for $2 million, and that was approved earlier this morning by my health committee, along with Human Services Committee. Moves on to the House Finance Committee, also voted on unanimously. Next bill, House Bill 1974, deals with a state plan on hearing loss. And this provides $100,000 for the SHPTA, which is the State Health Planning and Development Agency, to develop a hearing loss plan for the state. And this, again, was passed unanimously by committee, moves on to the House Finance Committee. And next 2 bills, House Bill 1975, providing a state rent supplement program for Kupuna. This was also passed by the Human Services Committee, unanimously, moves on to the House Finance Committee. Finally, House Bill 1976, which would require first responders to receive training in dealing with Alzheimer's patients and others. This was approved by my committee unanimously and moved on to the House Public Safety Committee. Those are the five top priorities identified by Kupuna Caucus, and I want to add one more, which was not actually a priority of Kupuna Caucus, but was proposed by the Alzheimer's Association. This is House Bill 1853, which proposes a Hanai Memory Network program, which is really aimed at providing dementia care for each of the neighbor islands through a clinic that's staffed by dementia specialists and provides not only assistance to the victims of Alzheimer's and dementia, but also their families to advise them on where they can go for support services. So this proposes $2 million, $3 million, and this was passed unanimously out of the Health Committee and moves on to House Finance Committee. So with that, happy to answer any questions.
Questions, anyone? Thank you so much, Representative. Anyone with questions of Representative Takayama? Great work on the House side. I can't say the same for the Senate.
Well, like I
So,
said, as
at
long
least
as
we
it's
have
moving
all the
in,
House bills. We have all the
as
House
long as it's
bills.
moving in either the House or the Senate,
Mhm.
they're alive. So thanks to
And it,
Representative Chun for being
yes,
an active advocate who's highly respected and effective, obviously, in the House. So, and
is,
thank you as well, Sharon,
yeah,
for your support.
is Representative Chen here? No, yes.
His
Yeah.
staff is, I think.
Oh, his staff. Yeah, so great work on the House side. It's still early in the session, so I have talked with the Senate Chair for Health and Human Services, which is a combined committee of Health and Human Services. So there's a whole bunch of bills on every single topic you can think of, but she's aware that this is Kupuna Caucus package. So it will hopefully be coming out shortly, but I'm so happy that the House, thanks Greg and to Corey, to having these a vehicle moving along. So we're very hopeful. So
Thank you. I just might add, Sharon, that, the next step, I mentioned that they all move on to a different committee now, particularly the House Finance Committee. And so Rep. Chun and I will push for the next committees to hold hearings on them. And I'm sure all of you in Kupuna Caucus are registered online to be notified when hearings are scheduled. It's very important that you submit testimony in support of each bill when it does come up, because you're really the key to getting these bills passed.
Mhm. And I think the Kupuna Caucus, while very much supported by our colleagues, it really looks to see that they do get testimony from all of you. So it is important. I cannot stress enough what Greg is saying, and especially as it goes to the money committees.
Yep,
They really need
especially.
to hear from you. So keep track. So if you don't know how, you could contact our office or any one of us, Greg or Corey's offices, to get registered. The main thing is get registered, and it's very simple to submit testimony online. And if you want to, you can appear in person or on Zoom. But please keep track as these bills move along. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Well, the next meeting, unless there's anybody else with announcements to be made. Okay, so the next meeting is February 6th. And if you do have any topics that you would like or organizations that would like to present to the Kupuna Caucus, because I think part of our meetings, very educational to hear what various organizations are doing and the programs that they have, so that we're informed as to what's going on in the Kupuna world, but also to be able to support and spread the word of a lot of these good programs, especially as AARP has mentioned, a lot of their programs And that you could send it out to your networks so that they're more well informed as well in terms of the programs that are around for helping our kupuna stay healthy and well as long as possible, and get engaged and involved. So anybody else with comments? We've got lots of time, but if there's nothing else, I don't want to keep all of you. Barbara, you look like you want to say something. Okay. Anybody else with any announcements? Okay. Well, if nobody, I see no hands going up. So I will let you go testify on various bills that might be around. So thank you all for joining us on this. Oh, Lay, yes, Lay.
I
Sharon,
see.
just a correction. Next meeting is March the 6th, not
Oh.
February the 6th.
Oh, yes. Oh, sorry. Oh, error. Thank you. March the 6th. Thank you, Lay. Okay, good eye. Anything else? Okay, so thank you all for joining us next time, March 6th. We'll see you all. And if you have any ideas or want to present on any topic or your organization, please let Alex know and then we'll set it up because we're still putting together the agenda for the next time. Okay, so